If you feel like you're working harder every year but somehow affording less, you're not failing. You're being outrun. Your salary isn't shrinking on paper, but in real life, it's losing a race it was never designed to win. Prices sprint forward, paychecks crawl behind, and the gap keeps widening no matter how responsible or ambitious you are. This video is about that gap. Why everything around you keeps getting more expensive than your salary, and why effort alone no longer closes the distance. Here's the core mechanism right up front. Most people earn money from wages. But the modern economy rewards something else far more aggressively: ownership. When money flows into assets instead of paychecks, prices rise without lifting incomes. That means the cost of living can explode even while salaries barely move. Once you see this, a lot of frustration suddenly makes sense. Not just rent or housing, but food, education, healthcare, and even basic security. This isn't a local issue or a short-term spike. It's happening across countries, industries, and generations. People in different cities with different jobs keep reporting the same feeling. Life costs more, but work doesn't pay proportionally more. That's because this isn't about individual choices or motivation. It's about how modern economies are structured, who they prioritize, and what they reward. If you've ever wondered why the rules seem to keep changing, why the things that worked for previous generations don't work anymore, you're in the right place. This channel breaks down the forces behind those changes so you can actually understand the system you're living in. Stick with me. When you look at long-term data, the pattern is clear. Over the past few decades, productivity increased, technology advanced, and economies grew. But wages did not keep pace with the cost of key necessities. Asset prices, like housing, land, and stocks, surged ahead, while income growth slowed. Essentials that used to scale with paychecks became detached from them. That's why people can feel poorer even when economies are labeled strong. Growth happened. It just didn't land where most people earn their money. So why did prices pull ahead of wages? One major reason is where surplus money goes. As wealth concentrates, extra capital doesn't flow into higher pay for workers. It flows into assets that can store and multiply value. Housing, land, companies, and financial instruments absorb that money, pushing prices up. At the same time, supply in many areas is constrained by policy, infrastructure limits, or slow development. High demand meets limited supply, and prices rise faster than incomes ever could. Debt made this imbalance survivable at first. As prices rose beyond what salaries could support, credit filled the gap. Loans stretched affordability, letting people pay tomorrow for costs they couldn't meet today. That kept demand alive and prices climbing. Then economic shocks hit: recessions, pandemics, inflation. Emergency responses prevented collapse, but injected even more money into a system already tilted toward assets. By the time borrowing became expensive again, prices were locked far beyond wage reality. This is where everyday life changes. When most of your income goes towards staying afloat, long-term planning disappears. Saving feels unrealistic. Mobility drops. People stay in jobs they dislike, delay families, and avoid risks. Meanwhile, those who already own assets see their wealth rise automatically. The divide isn't just financial, it's psychological. One group feels stuck running in place. The other feels protected by ownership. If understanding this matters to you, if you want to stop blaming yourself for a system-level problem, then this is exactly the kind of thinking this channel is built around. Subscribing isn't about motivation or hustle, it's about clarity. Knowing how the system works changes how you navigate it, how you plan, and how you protect yourself inside it. So why is everything more expensive than your salary? Because the modern economy rewards owning far more than earning, and wages were never redesigned to compete with asset inflation. This isn't a personal failure, it's a structural imbalance. And until that balance shifts, affordability will keep slipping further away from paychecks. The real question now isn't whether prices will keep rising. It's how people adapt when work alone no longer guarantees stability.